Well, hello activators and shack sloths, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm excited to share with you my experience of driving and hiking up Grey Mountain in Tasmania. This might be helpful if you're thinking of doing this activation yourself. Tasmania is known for its stunning natural beauty, its adventurous trails, and this one is definitely an exception. It's not that scenic or beautiful overall. Before we headed off, we did the usual checks on Google Maps to estimate the best route to the trailhead. We also had a good look at all trails to check whether there were any useful reviews of this walk or the local area. The lack of reviews is a bit of an indicator that no hikers are very excited about this spot. So we left the main road at the township of Cygnet. That's where you turn off the bitumen and you start heading up into the mountains. The road leading to the mountain is a little bit narrow and it passes right through active forestry areas. You're likely to pass through decimated plantations, machinery, and some forestry workers who gave us some strange looks. The roads are fairly well maintained for the first part of the trip. The views are pretty underwhelming. As we drove higher, the scenery closed in and the track turned into a pretty rough access trail. I ended up having to engage four-wheel drive for a couple of the really rough sections. The trailhead starts where Snug Tier Trail and Grey Mountain Track meet. That's where you can park the car before you set off. The hike up Great Mountain is considered a moderate to difficult level. The road there exists purely for access to the communications tower at the top. There is an access gate near the intersection, which I would guess might get closed depending on the season. It was open when we were there. We could have driven to the peak, but I was looking for the exercise, so we hiked the track instead. The hike itself takes about 45 minutes one way, and that's purely due to the steepness of the track. Once we reached the top, we were a bit underwhelmed by the views, which are blocked by the trees. I'm sure the views from the tower would be panoramic of the surrounding areas. In regard to the activation zone, it's a really easy area to set up. I put up my extendable pole with my dipole antenna resonant to 40 meters on top, and I quickly got the contacts that I needed for the activation. I was using my Xiegu G90 on 10 watts, and over about an hour I made contacts in 4 states. So summing that up, there's 2 pieces of advice that I can share with you if you're thinking about activating Grey Mountain. Firstly, I recommend a 4-wheel drive in order to get you there. Secondly, if you're going to do this one, you're really just going for the points. It's not a particularly scenic drive, and once you get to the peak, you don't really get to appreciate the views. The drive itself was an adventure. The hike up the mountain was challenging. If I was passing by again and I had a couple of free hours, I'd definitely do this mountain again, but I'd treat it like a drive up. Have a look on All Trails for Michelle's review. She gives it 2 stars out of 5 just for the walk. If you happen to see potential in this new channel, give me a roast in the comments. I'd love suggestions to help make the content better. I've got several more videos currently in production, so I hope we'll see you coming back to have a look. That's VK3 Whiskey Mike Delta out.